So welcome everyone for this new community call. Thank you for spending some time with us. There's a lot of stuff we want to talk about with you. It will be a mix of people presenting different stuff. If anyone is not available, I should be covered on a high level view of each point, and questions are open from at any point. Just remember that at the end of the call we have some time just to have any open discussion that anyone wants to bring up, or any needs or any concerns, anything that wants to be raised. It can be done at any point, so please speak freely. First of all, just a reminder, if you haven't subscribed yet to the Inside the Bakery newsletter, please do so if you're interested to receive the latest updates that we release, or the important information that we believe you should go through. Same if you want to collaborate or provide any type of content for it, please do reach out. Your input is also valuable. This is being run by Ben, so you can get Ben on the chat and ping him directly. So for today, we'll, as mentioned before, we'll record this meeting. We'll upload it to YouTube later and post it on the forum under announcements. We'll have a couple of talks about the first slide distribution, the KPI Options launch, and an update from what we did on Lisbon. The Community Contribution Committee will get an update, as well as the Treasury Committee. We'll have a talk about the roadmap update, so the progress on the roadmap deliverables, some community stats, as we have done the last couple of times, key proposals, and the open votes just to raise awareness. Right, so first of all, we have a POAP that is proudly done by a community member. We'll keep that going over every month. We'll just place a bounty to create the POAP. This one was done by Twin Alien. We'll distribute it manually to the attendees of this call. So if you're listening to this, you haven't attended, no, you're not going to get a POAP. Gab is taking manual notes of who is on this call today, and will distribute them directly. So first of all, slice distribution. It has been a whole month since we announced those taking initiative. A lot happened during that month. We saw a lot of support from the community. Has been very, very good. It actually exceeded the internal expectations we had from the team. And we closed out the first cycle, distributing $1.35 million worth of slice to 201 eligible PieDAO holders, which voted after the snapshot implementation was done on October 18th on 3 different votes that were opened in snapshot. The distribution was on the 5th of November, so last Friday. We had a couple of feedback from the community. We did all the troubleshooting, bug fixing needed. Yet the slides should be there for you to claim, and if you want to accrue or claim and redeem for the underlying asset that was voted by the community, which is play at the moment. Around 76% of holders actually voted. The rest has been distributed around the ones that were eligible. 252 addresses in total staked during the first month. The distribution of slice had a play inside, which actually got us to mint a lot of play for the distribution, and that made the market cap increase to around $5.2 million, which is good stuff. As general stats for the last month, around 10.7 million PieDAO have been minted. The average is around 35 months in total, so which is very high. And as mentioned before, 252 addresses participated on the first month only. I would like to make a stop here and see if either Alessio or Gab would like to make any comments.
Yeah, hi everybody. Well, I think you summarized it pretty well. I just want to say, you guys are freaking awesome for staking for 36 months straight. So that's been incredible to see. We've been super happy to see how the staking initiative has been catching up within the community. And I'm very excited for what's to come. More generally speaking, how does it everybody feels about their slice? Are you guys happy? I hope you are. On my perspective, I'm very excited about distributing pies through slice. I think that's such a powerful dynamic that we're gonna explore a lot more, and also it's gonna teach us a lot more about our own pies. We already learned some lessons by the very first minting, and I'm just very excited to see how this dynamic will improve the entire UX for liquidity providers in pies and for the entire DAO.
Yeah, I can maybe add just something, one last point. Since it was voted in also the opportunity to compound those slices back to some additional video. Just today was performed the first, let's say, distribution based on the rate, the conversion rate that was issued today. And also was quite great. The results to date, since almost $100K were given back to the treasury, pretty much allowing to those addresses to get back and compound some additional video, which were redistributed today, as mentioned. And that it's pretty awesome because it also brings new capital to the treasury, which eventually could farm on top of the current holding. So I think that's some nice additional point that could be mentioned.
Awesome. Thank you very well both for your inputs. Does anyone have any comments, any questions, anything you would like to say? Great. So cool. Yeah, super excited about this. Let's see what the future departs. It will be very interesting to see how this develops. One comment around one slide about the slice distribution itself. So where can you find your slice? You can find it under the summary. The summary is on the either DAO staking page or in the Piefolio page, and there has been a Medium post placed on how to claim and redeem slice, which has a step-to-step guide on how to do it. The process is quite simple. Yet we are outlining there each step plus the how to the compound of PieDAO. So there's the reference will be on this material. You can always ask questions on the general channel, but if you have any questions, just take a look at the doc and ask around. Good. Moving forward, KPI options. The distribution has been scheduled for next week, so that's why you see these weird dates there. So within next week, we're going to distribute the KPI options. We're working currently on the interface, so you can do every action in a single stop. At the moment, considering the current API, and this is a snapshot of the picture below, it's taken like half an hour ago. We have hit the second milestone, which means that 2 million VDO are going to be distributed by the end of March 2022, which is a lot. So what's next? We want to get to the 5 million DAO distribution, which means that if we get 15 million DAO staked by the end of March 2022, we will be entitled to increase those 2 to 5 million, which will be terrific for everyone that staked during the first month of the DAO staking campaign. Gab, would you like to make any comments on top of it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, maybe I just like to stress a bit more the magnitude of this initiative, because pretty much whoever has been able to stake by end of October is going to be eligible to get the KPI options. And just thinking the fact that we currently reached the second milestone, that pretty much means, just in numbers, approx like an additional 20% over the, let's say, equity that whoever staked in October, if you think. So it's already like amazing as of yet, the result that we will eventually be reaching. We, frankly speaking, we weren't expecting such a huge, commitment since the very beginning. What it's even, beyond amazing is that, if we just play together and we are eventually going to make it happen to reach the final milestone of the 15 million dose staked, the prize on the plate, it's really huge, because for if you just think back of those like initial approx 10 million dose staked, an additional 5 million dough given as reward would pretty much mean a 50% increase on, I'm always talking about equity stake and the first month, which I think it's something out of the ordinary in my opinion. So other than stressing this point, I think pretty much should be hopefully self-explanatory the way it works. Everybody could be following the progress at the link that it's here, but it's linked of course on the webpage. So we should definitely think, and over time we still have a few months to go. Definitely worth it to be organized and to really, put together our power to reach the final goal.
So I think action point, if you want to number go up, then we need to have a coordinated effort to spread the word, and make sure people understand what's the opportunity here. And
exactly.
I love everybody who does that, on Twitter. So props to everyone who tweets about PieDAO all the time. I want that to ideally we increase that by 10x, and then we all get a large payout for it.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Does anyone have anything to add? Any other comments or ideas about how to move this forward, please? I'm not sure if this is the right place to discuss a marketing strategy, but yet be open to share any thoughts or ideas that could help move this forward. All right, so let's move to the next one. Liscon update. So as you all know, we have been quite busy during the week of the Lisbon conference. Most of the core team has been there, and we have spent lots of time doing networking and pitching people around what PieDAO is, what are the benefits of joining us, why our products are a good investment, what's the deal with those staking, why it was important for them to take a look at it, review it, and be mindful that this is a great thing happening, and they can get the feeling of what's the full-time token holder idea, and just spread the word about it. So we actually worked relentlessly for a lot of days, a couple of days in a row. We made 2 events in the same day on October 21st, on a day event, on a night event. A lot of people joined us and came and asked what we were doing, talking from investors to developers to other protocol team members, just to see what we do, how we do it, and to present themselves and see if we can get new partnerships, new resources, and lots of good communication and good talks during this couple of days. Also, we gave away a lot of swag, so hopefully you got one if we were there. So if you see people around with flip-flops or a Ray Dalio sunglasses, it's because they reach out on during Liscon. Pretty cool experience, I have to say. So I'm not sure if anyone wants to say anything else on top of it. I hope we see more of these events in the future.
Yeah, from my perspective, like I just want to say, like, thanks everybody for coming. Like I see some of the people like Keith and some others who stopped by. I really appreciated that. Like I think it was pretty great for the very first time to shake hands and like see faces. And I hope we get the chance to expand these initiatives like in real life, like a lot more. I think they are super beneficial for the community. Like it's a point of gathering. Like it's a way. Like I seen block for the very first time. Out of this avatar, like there was a illuminating experience. So like it's it's been pretty great. I hope to see you pretty soon in the next conference.
Cool, thanks Alex. So moving forward, Treasury Committee update. This is when I shut up and I pass the torch to Block. Block, would you like to guide us through the latest update?
Yeah. So the Treasury has been up to a busy month. We've been dollar cost averaging leverage into ETH and have settled out to make slice payments. So for rebalancing into slice, mostly we sold a bunch of the farming rewards, but we had several assets that were earning native yield and ribbon, for instance, which didn't really have an external reward to sell. But rather than exiting some of the ETH that we've earned or convex, which we're currently long, we decided to take out our stables rather than dollar cost averaging into ETH so much. We've used the stables to pay out for play, and that allowed us to rebalance our position into a much more aggressive bullish position without necessarily as much time that dollar cost averaging would have taken. But I think that puts us in a really good place. And with convex staking, we've seen bribes increase about 200% in the since last period, which had netted around 50% rewards. So we think we're well positioned to at least maintain pace with how we performed in past months, if not increase our total yield. Does anyone have any questions, or is there any way that we can better service the community as Treasury in discussing how these moves are being made? Well, my DMs are always open and always looking for more sources to be positioning ourselves to earn.
No questions from anyone? Last chance to speak up. All right, so thank you very much for that. Everyone, just a reminder that the Treasury Committee report was out this week. Check in Discord in the Treasury Committee channel that the PDF is there available for you to review. So going to the next slide, community contribution. I'm going to pass the torch here to Brian. Brian?
Hey everybody. Yeah, we just finished month 2 of the community contribution initiative, open up the bounty boards and trying to get more people involved. 6 total bounties completed, about 3 others in progress. They're already kind of like escalating in complexity. We're getting some development work done and some dashboards built, which is really, really cool to see. We used a lot of this month to refine our kind of process and our tooling behind the scenes. So a better like bounty briefing system for the team to give clear bounties on the way out. And then hopefully that'll be able to increase the amount of things we're able to kind of open up to the community to offer. Our real focus over the next month is opening up more sort of key priority roles and areas. Some things we really want to focus on are each of our pies kind of deserves attention in terms of being able to tell the story about sort of, one, look at its performance and look at why it's made up the way it is, but also talking about the things that are impacting it and the underlying assets, and continue to talk about what makes our pies both a strategic investment, but also kind of novel in their own ways. So building out a little bit of a content blueprint and system there, and getting some people involved to start thinking about what kinds of stories and what kind of information we should be collecting each month and on a regular basis. So expect to see threads like that open up in the forum around certain other ways to like kind of contribute and kind of make recommendations about how we should be talking about our pies. The other thing we want to focus on then is translating more of our content and getting it out to other groups with other languages and things like that. And at the same time, we want to try to take some of the momentum coming out of Lisbon to think about where other meetups might happen. So all of these things are going to end up being as a call for contributions and to kind of see who would like to get involved in what ways. And then all of this wraps up. Just as a reminder, we have the impression mining initiative, which is the more stuff we make, the more things we do, the more stories we tell. I think the easier it'll be for people to say, hey, look at this cool thing. I'm a supporter of this, and share that. And we want to make sure that people are leaning into the incentive system we built there with impression mining. So definitely, if you're sharing things online, feel free to bring it back to the impression mining system. We want that to start working. And then next slide, it's that time of month again. There we go. Woo! Contributor of the month, Jordan Isa. Jordan made a great PieDAO cheat sheet, getting started with PieDAO cheat sheet that you can see in the announcement channel. And he, at the close of voting at 2 p.m. Eastern time today, he led the voting. So congratulations, Jordan. You join incredible company with Twin Alien, who was our contributor of the month last month. So thank you.
Good stuff. Thank you, Brian. Good to see Jordan Isa here. He also helped out on a couple of development tasks. So well-deserved, man. Wherever you are, I think it's very late for him at this moment. So good, great. Anyone? Any comments? Any questions? Amazing. Cool. Let's move forward then. The roadmap update. So as everyone knows, we set up 4 months roadmap with a lot of tasks inside of it, 47 actionable items. At this point in time, we have increased the completed task on a 5% from the previous month to this month, and we have also increased the amount of tasks in progress. One thing I would like to call out about the pending tasks, most of them, I won't say most of them, sorry, a portion of them are part of the bounty program, so we need your help to get addressed them. Not because we cannot do it ourselves. We core team should be focused on other relevant tasks. These are all stuff that as a community we can get done, like creating dashboards, creating June analytics, content, creating frameworks. So I personally have been in touch with a lot of other project managers that have been like Tom, for example, have been reaching out to say, hey, where I can help on the organization side. We need your help. So if you feel that you have a skill that can make any of these points, any of these deliverables a reality, just ping us. Okay, the information is available, the report is there, you have the high-level description of why and what we want to do, and reach out and say, hey, I want you to do this, or I want you to do this in a different way. Everything is accepted. Okay, cool. Any questions, any comments? All right, moving forward, we changed a little bit the type of math around DAO holders at the moment. So for DAO holders, we are now contemplating VDAO holders. So we have an increase of 13% more holders since the baseline we're taking, which is August 2021. Also worth mentioning that the dopamine rewards is period 6 will end with the numbers you can see on screen: 2 million liquid, 8.2 million escrow. In terms of pie performance, the TVL of all the pies increased considering the last month, and I will be increasing and showing those differences. Sorry, within 1 month to the other from the next community call onwards. We had a little decrease on some of the pies in terms of pie holders. Yet Play had an increase, which is the only one at the moment that had a slight increase on the amount of holders. So TBL up, some holders got off. I hope if they got off was to buy dough and stake. So any comments, any questions at this point? Cool. Moving forward, forums wise, we have seen an increase. Sorry, was anyone going to say anything? Okay, I heard the mic open. Now, forum-wise, we see an increase on the interactions, on topics, posts, active users, replies. On the right, you can see the top topics of the last 30 days. It is good. This goes hand in hand with the PieDAO staking initiative. There has been a lot of buzz, and people has been actively talking and cooperating on the forum, so that's very helpful from my point of view. Before we move to the next section, where we're going to talk about proposals, does anyone have any comments or any questions? All right. Next one, I'm going to pass the torch to Ben. Ben?
Yeah, thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Perfectly, yes.
We can hear you well.
Perfect. I never know if I could be heard, so double checking. But great to hear that engagement overall in the forum is increasing. That goes hand in hand with the success of the DAO. So here I put together the top proposals over the last month, and the first two I wanted to give an update on where we are with those. So for example, the PFP Pie that passed the snapshot vote. And just an update to the community, the teams have synced up internally to discuss like the strategy for this PFP Pie. So once more details are available, we will share with the broader group. But please know that our club or Winter Bears and PieDAO have met, and we're still discussing on how best to proceed with the creation of this pie. It is coming, so just an update on that. The second was the creation of an EDO to VDO bridge. So there was a lot of discussion on it. I think Gabo was the last one who provided more input in terms of where the direction of this proposal should go. And the last I've heard or read was that this proposal was going to go to snapshot voting. So Adam, if you're there, please let us know if you need any help in moving that into actual snapshot voting, or if there's an update regarding this proposal. But that's where we are with that proposal. And then for number 3, PieDAO debt. So this was actually a proposal that came in early October. So the summary of the proposal is the Treasury Farming Committee would align with DEPDAO to explore lending opportunities to other DAOs. So this is in a bid to increase both farming revenue and other benefits, such as partnerships with the other DAOs, and also just building those relationships. So it's under community review. If anybody has any interest, or any insight, please go into the forum and this proposal and share your thoughts. The next one, I believe, is the USD rebalance proposal. So Guzman from Mass Adoption, I believe you're going to talk about it if you're still on the call.
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm doing great. I have yet to miss a PieDAO community call. There's always really cool stuff going on with everyone here. I love it. I love the growth these last couple weeks. It's been insane. But yeah, just to touch on the USD plus proposal at a high level, I think it's it's about time that we kind of revamp some of the yield bearing approaches or considerations, at least within this pie, if you will. It's been rather dormant for quite some time, and I think the objective that we could propose here is to offer more utility and more basically more utility for this particular pie, this particular asset, right? Outside of the fact of offering a stable pie, we would like to bring more, again, yield bearing activity to this particular product. So when I initially submitted the proposal, obviously we were considering cream, we were considering agave compound, and those protocols of the like. Unfortunately, since then, we witnessed the exploit of cream, unfortunately. But I see that as an opportunity for not only the product, but for PieDAO as a whole, because now we could experiment and consider other yield-bearing opportunities that can not only give back and give back to PieDAO, but also to make it more profitable, more worthwhile for USD++ holders. So at a high level, that's basically the proposal, and always open to get any feedback and opinions. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Guzman. This was actually something that really came into focus, especially now that we have other stables apart from just the 4 that are originally in the pie. So everybody, please, if you have any input, I encourage you to go to the proposal and provide some feedback.
Hey, just a quick question that just made me think of. I've been trying to figure out how to handle, a 1-2 punch staking that has both like farming, but then rolls the reward into a pool too. The problem with convex is that requires staking and kind of breaks withdrawing from pies. But I'm wondering what the sentiment is towards having a pie that maybe has more than the normal streaming fee, but that goes towards pool 2 staking. So we could have a convex farming pie that maybe 5% of the convex that is that something that it's not our normal thing to charge more than our streaming fee, but would that be something that is an interesting possibility to you guys?
I think that's pretty interesting. So you're basically saying okay, we get some streaming fees more, but eventually that gets reinvested into non-liquid positions, right? And that eventually gets redistributed as well to the pie.
And that pool 2 locked position would then earn more rewards that could then go back towards the yield of the principal of everyone.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'd be into that. I think the biggest challenge for products like USD++ is that besides rebalancing, it will need to have a solid growth plan in terms of how do you sort of boost TVL in that sense, and then there is to some degree some complexity even regarding the bribing stuff on Cure, right? Because if you want to create liquidity for that.
But I think that where it stands out is that everyone else is only farming the general pools, and this would give access to a new yield source that is currently inaccessible to any other kind of position. Most vault structures aren't designed to handle multi-asset, so those aren't really able to even maintain a position that earns bribes, whereas our structure would be able to handle that, I think. And I think just the ability to add bribe income stream would be a big liquidity driver.
That's pretty interesting. Would you mind following that up to the forum post in a way that makes it?
Yeah,
cool.
I'll add it to them.
So finally, Guzman will get his USD++ revamped. He has been working so hard for it.
No, and I think it brings an interesting case, and I love that idea. Please drop that feedback in the comment in the reply section, because I think we could definitely iterate on that. Because I think with USD++, not only, of course, it will be offering a yield-bearing asset, but it could offer multiple streams that could benefit the treasury, right? Portions of yield that's accumulated could be directed toward the treasury, towards voting mechanisms that could help basically it's self-sustainable, I guess, a lack of a better term.
We can
right?
vote for rewards for ourselves. It's
exactly
protocol. It's Pi-owned votes.
Pi-owned. I love it. I love it. Yeah, please drop that. We'll love to look into that, because that's a fantastic idea. Thank you.
They're all great combos. Thanks, guys. I guess the one lesson everybody should take from this is perseverance pays off. So, Guzman, you've been throwing out some good ideas for a while now. So, glad that they're getting traction. To wrap up the slides, so we have 2 more proposals that were brought up over the last month. So, second to last one is PieDAO Meetup Organizer Bounty. So, Nico, I don't know if you want to talk to it directly about it, but basically, the idea is to encourage meetups from contributors or members such as ourselves across the world in an effort to raise the awareness for PieDAO. And there's some details in terms of like what specifically we're looking for, what not, what would count for like an event, and maybe where we could provide some resources. But that's another proposal that's under community review. Nico, not sure if you want to speak to it. If not, I can move on to the next one. Okay, so we'll go to promotional ideas.
I have a terrible influence, so like flu, so I cannot talk, but I think you covered it well, and thank you again.
Gotcha. Okay, no worries, Nico. Hope you feel better soon. And the last idea is actually came from OilReg. So it's promotional ideas for PieDAO. So the idea is to create content along with a gamification program in the backend, where users, for example, watch content on like how to get started with PieDAO, how to bake, how to use the oven, for example, and then answer quizzes in order to earn a certain reward. So in this case, they'll A, learn how to interact with the protocol, and B, they'll be rewarded for it, and 3, you're engaging with something and ultimately building that connection with our community. So I think we're still under community review with this one, and it ties hand in hand with a lot of the impression mining and some of the contributor initiative. So OilReg, I don't know if you want to speak to it quickly, but that's another proposal that was brought up this month.
No, you summed it up pretty good. Couldn't have done it better. Thanks.
Awesome. Cool. Well, that's it for me. Adrian, take it back to you.
I'm sorry, like I just want to add real quick because that probably didn't make the cut because it was done sort of this afternoon. There is a vote, actually a couple of votes open right now on Snapchat. Well, like one is present from, oh, there you go. Okay. So.
You didn't count.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, like I just want to provide like a little bit of context on the PFP 66 just to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. But basically, like as you might know, on October 26, Cream Finance was exploited for a pretty significant amount of money. And yeah, YPI was partially lending through the Cream Finance protocol, particularly for 2 assets. One was CR Cream and the other one was Keeper. Basically right after the first attack, we managed to unland CR Cream, so I can save that position. But like there is around some tokens which were in the CR Keeper position on Cream, which account for around 10K of the entire TVL, which are basically uncollateralized right now. And we have been waiting for some news from the Cream team. There seems to be pretty silent right now. But like as for now, having like they basically disabled transfer for the CR keeper tokens, which it's not great. So like we wanna at least. I basically made the proposal to at least call the remove token function with the token with the CR keeper token, so that we can reestablish the normal functionality of the Pi, and then redemption will be available once more. Tokens will be kept within the Pi, even though like they will be outside of the basket facet. So if there is like any sort of refund in the future, like we will be entitled to that. That's it for me.
Great. Any questions from anyone about these two open votes or about any of the proposals? Great. Good. So let's move forward. The agenda is over, so we are very much open to any topics, any questions, any comments anyone wants to bring up. So please voice out whatever you want us to have a chat with right now.
Hey, GM. Just had a question about the Wintermute proposal from April. Did that ever get executed, or is there a status update on that? Or
yeah, the proposal was executed indeed. So like I actually did catch up with the Wintermute people like in Lisbon last week. They have been providing liquidity mostly a little bit on SushiSwap, but also through 1inch and ParaSwap, since they basically enable to have basically like they can just post into an order book. So that's pretty easy. We also had a couple of conversations because like their mandate was mostly related to DAO. Like we've been talking about the possibility of market making for pies, and that's something which I actually find the most interesting part. One thing that came out, and I wanna put it on the table because I think it's very important for the community to kind of get that piece of information, is that actually there is like a lot of like they are very much willing to to market make for pies, as long as there isn't an issue with long tail assets, and that's something that we've been discussing a little bit together, like, and hopefully want to push into some sort of proposal soon. But there is a fundamental problem with some of the pies which have very little allocation of little tokens. And that makes it difficult for market makers to potentially, edge on other places and also to meet. So that's something we should very much take into consideration where we design a new allocation, but also for future rebalancing, because having that sort of like support, it's eventually that it's basically what enables like some other similar products to like reach a very large amount of TBLs. So that's pretty interesting. Like I think like this should take some form, an actionable form pretty soon, hopefully, so that we can see as a community how do we feel about that. I personally think like it will not be like under 2%. In some of the pies, but like, and if that enables growth, like I think that would be great. There was also like another conversation which has been started in terms of potential strategies to market make on layer 2 and potentially other chains, which I think would be super interesting and would make the work of market make a lot easier because of the reduced cost of operation. So it's hopefully like we something happens soon on that front as well.
sounds good. Thanks for the update.
No problem.
Good. Has anyone have any other comments, questions, anything else to be brought up?
I'm just very happy DeFi Plus has pumped so hard.
Yeah, the first double-digit pie, you never forget.
It's the first double-digit pie, guys. Like it's like, you know, for the ones who minted the very first one, like we all the pies start at $1. So like you know, congrats on the 10x.
Nice, yo. S killing it.
Thank you, Loopring, for saving the day.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Unless, well, there's no more questions, comments right now, for what I can see. So, last not least, the next community call will make it on December the 9th. Again, reminder from our sponsor Ben, the writer of newsletters. Join inside the bakery if you want to get the latest updates. We'll publish in the next 24 hours the video, the slides, and the meeting notes of this meeting. And for everyone, hope to see you in the chat. Keep being active, help us move this forward. And thank you for everyone for hard work and for being there supporting us.
Thank you very much, guys. And by the way, like Ben, you're killing it with the newsletter. Like I usually hate newsletters, but like these one are pretty fun. Like it's congrats on that.
Yeah, I think I'm really expanding on my GIF creating skills. So definitely
Pump up the memes. Pump up the memes. Like way to go.
Yeah, really awesome.
Good, thanks, guys. Have a good one.
See you around.
Cheers. Have a good one. Ciao, ciao.
Bye, everybody. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
The end. Bye bye.